We're looking ahead to Tuesday. There are only 4 games on, so that means we need to be really dialed in to our streaming options. Michael Bolton, he is the king of the stream.
Thanks, Josh. It's Michael Bolton here, and it's time for another episode of the Locked On Fantasy Basketball Podcast. Let's get to it.
Let's get to it, indeed.
You are Locked On Fantasy, your daily NBA fantasy podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello and welcome to the Locked On Fantasy Basketball Podcast, brought to you by Basketball Monster. My name is Josh Lloyd and we are a pro Neville Bartos show. I'm also the lead fantasy analyst at basketballmonster.com, and you can find me on Blue Sky, joshloyd.bsky.social, on Twitter at redrock_bball, on TikTok at redrock_bball, and on Instagram at Locked On Fantasy Basketball. Super Bowl 59 is here, and there's no better way to make every play more exciting than with FanDuel Sportsbook. You can bet just $5, and if you win, you get $200 in bonus bets. So download the app or head to FanDuel.com today to get started. Also check out LockedOnDaily.com, and you can find the best NBA newsletter for your favorite team. Sign up, it's free, and get the newsletter delivered into your inbox 5 days a week. It is National Kazoo Day. So do you kazoo? Because if you do, now's the day to do the kazoo. As we get ready to talk about Tuesday in the NBA, there are the 4 games on. Let's see what's on my radar. Let's see what we're looking for in each of these 4 games. There's quite a few interesting things going on. Quite a few teams coming in on a back-to-back as well, including the first game, which is the Lakers and the Philadelphia 76ers. This is game 2 of a back-to-back for the Lakers and game 1 of a back-to-back for the Sixers. So there's a lot to debate here. The Lakers are 4.5-point favorites on the road. It's a scheduled plus spot for both of these teams. There's a lot of guys out there. Christian Wood is out. Hood Schifino is out. I don't expect Jared Vanderbilt to play. Now, I know he's back. I know he played. But I don't think he's playing a back-to-back after not being available for a year. So he's going to play Monday. I think he's going to sit on Tuesday. We don't know about Rui Hachimura or Gabe Vincent. Both are out on Monday. I expect that Gabe probably does play Tuesday. Rui, I'm not sure. He's missed 2 already. We'll see. But I'm going to put them both questionable for Tuesday, Vincent and Hachimura. And then on the Sixers side, these are official. Embiid is out. George is out. KJ Martin is out. Caleb Martin is out. Andre Drummond is out. They're all out. Gershon Yabusele is probable with knee swelling. So you're worried here that Drummond, Embiid, Yabusele might even sit on Wednesday, all of them. So we might be getting a more bonerific game. Or maybe a bit of Pete Nance action. That's for Wednesday, though. On Tuesday, this is what we know. On the Sixers side of things, there is no Paul George. There is no Martins. They're both gone. So is it Justin Edwards or is it Ricky Council? Edwards has been preferred over Council over the last week or 2. Edwards plays more minutes. Edwards is at least sort of interesting. At least, yeah, we're talking about a day where there's just not that many teams playing. So Edwards has got to be somewhat on our radars. In terms of stream guys, Cormac Christie for the Lakers is always in that mix, and they've got a scheduled plus spot. So if you wanted Christie on your team, this is the time to do it. When you've got a bonus value of being able to stream in more games, fewer moves. And on the Sixers side of things, it is Yabusele, who's still available in a lot of spots. Understandably, last game he started with Embiid and Drummond out, and he had like 6 points. Right? He has big ones. He has small ones. We've seen that time and time and time again. He's inconsistent even when the minutes are strong. But for now, he does remain a pretty good option for us to use as a stream guy. The next game is an important game and what could be a really good game, a battle of 2 red teams. But both of these teams are on a back-to-back. Both the Rockets and the Hawks play on Monday. So we're going to have some uncertainty around certain players' availabilities. Both teams are in a scheduled plus spot from Tuesday onwards, and the Rockets actually go into a 5-game week next week. So the Rockets have this 8-game period. They've got 3 more games this week after Monday, but they've got 8 games over the next, 13 days? Jabari Smith's going to be out. Cam Whitmore is ill. He is questionable for Monday, so we don't know about his Tuesday status either. And then the Hawks is where it gets really interesting. I do not expect for a single second that Jalen Johnson plays in this game. He's only been officially ruled out for Monday, but there's no way he plays Tuesday. What does become interesting is Trae Young. Now, Trae is out on Monday. I think he could play on Tuesday, but we just don't know. And then there's Zach Ricochet, who's returning from a groin strain. He's questionable for Monday. It would be unlikely he plays both games, but I don't know his status. Larry Nance played and now is questionable on Monday with his hand issue. Does he play both of them? The hand should be okay to go, but I didn't expect him to pop back up as questionable either. So that's one we watch. And DeAndre Hunter is now allegedly dealing with an illness after it was foot soreness the other day. So he's ill for Monday's game. Does he play or not? I don't know. Does he play Tuesday? I also don't know. So there's a lot of, and they all, outside of Trey, Ricochet, Nance, and Hunter all can play the same position. So there's bumps that could happen to a million different guys or to none of them at all. And if Trey is out, watch Keaton Wallace. Now, Keaton Wallace played Sunday for the G League team. He's been called up to play on Monday for the real team. So if Trey is out again Tuesday, would Keaton actually go back to back to back? They might do it. And then we saw ages ago when Wallace played, 2 weeks ago, he was great. He put up a huge game. Now, he's not that good every game, but he'd at least be worth looking at if that is the scenario that actually happens. For the Rockets side of things, in terms of stream guys, Dylan Brooks is always going to be safe in terms of the role. Like Brooks is going to play 30 minutes unless he's ejected. He's going to play 35. He might score 20. He might score 3. He might shoot 11%. He might shoot 70. He might have 4 steals. He might have 0. But we know he's going to be starting. And we know he's going to be getting minutes. So he's at least safe in that, like, hey, I'm at least not streaming somebody who's going to be out of the rotation. That's always a risk. On the Hawks side of things, Vit Krejci's the safest stream there as well. You feel pretty good that at least one, if not two, of Johnson, Nance, Hunter, and Ricochet are going to be out. Add in Trae Young, and Krejci can also play point guard. He can play the 3 as well. There are ample opportunities, and we have seen with Johnson out, Vit Krejci is like a 12-team league, very comfortably a 12-team league player. So he just should be rested anyway. And he's a really good stream guy. Otherwise, you go to a Keaton Wallace. Maybe you go to Daquan Mr. Plowden if a bunch of other guys are out. Remember, he had that big game when Wallace had that big game a few weeks ago as well. But at the moment, Krejci's the safer one because we just know there is going to be a solid role there, irrespective of how these other guys play and where they sit. The third game, we're going to the Milwaukee game up in Portland. That was a very, very weird way of saying that, but it's a game in Portland with the Blazers hosting the Bucks. Is that even more weird? It's Bucks at Blazers. That's easier. The Bucks are 6.5-point favorites here. It's schedule plus spot for both of these teams here also. I don't think that Chris Middleton's going to play. Now, maybe he doesn't play Monday. I don't know. They officially ruled him questionable on Monday, and I'm just going to go and do a double check. They had been resting him on the first game of the back-to-back, Middleton, but they've put him questionable, so I don't know. Now, obviously, we just wait and see. If Middleton plays Monday, he'll sit Tuesday. If he sits Monday, he'll play Tuesday most likely. At this point, because he's questionable for Monday, I'll put Middleton as doubtful for Tuesday. Giannis is probable on Monday. Now, it's against the Blazers. His knee has been a problem, so I'll put Giannis as questionable here, and we just wait and see on it. And then Bob Portis has been ruled out for Monday with a personal issue. No idea if he's going to be available to travel here, but again, we keep an eye on that. And Big Boom AJ Green's missed a few games. A quad issue. I think he actually would be able to play the back-to-back if he's available, but we don't know that. Tyler Smith also questionable. Doesn't matter. Won't play. Matisse Thybulle out on the Portland side of things, and we don't have an official update yet, but I don't think that DeAndre Ayton will play. He's missed 3 in a row with this knee sprain, which originally they said was a calf issue. So knee sprain is very easy to miss multiple weeks. And yeah, I don't think that Ayton's playing, and I think you should prepare for the fact that he's not playing. It's not a fact. You should prepare for the potentiality that he doesn't play. Is that a real word? Probably isn't either. What are we watching for here? It is Donovan Clingan. Last game, both he and Rob Williams were terrible. They couldn't shoot at all. Clingan can have huge games. He can have bad games. I worry about his overall minute ceiling because of his body type and his conditioning levels. I worry about his offensive game because it's terrible. But he does have some of the building blocks of good fantasy numbers. If both he and Rob Williams were to play equal minutes every game, Rob Williams is a better fantasy player. I feel comfortable in saying that. But that's not what they're going to do. So we just continue to watch how Clingan gets deployed. In terms of stream guys for the Bucks, well, you could go to Gary Trent. He's very hit or miss. Whereas Taurean Prince could have the situation where there's no Portis, no Middleton, and he's starting, which gives him higher minutes upside. So yeah, he's not exciting at all, and Trent can easily pop off. But there are a few more factors, I think, leading towards Prince. On the Blazers side of things, they are giving a lot of minutes to Mani Kamara. 34 minutes a game over his last 3 games. Now, I have been on record as saying I'm not the biggest Kamara fan. In terms of real-life play, I think he's very good. He's a very good defender. He's got very mid upside, but that's okay as well. He's just a very solid, rock-solid guy who you want on your team. Fantasy-wise, he's been rough for a lot of the season. He's been pretty good lately, and that's great. We use him, we stream him now. They've got a very good schedule positioning here. And there's just too many weird things, though, with Simons and Avdir and Sharp and Scoot. And eventually, like, I don't know what they do with Kamara. But for now, like, use him. But my long-term view on him is still, it's a little iffy. It still remains a little iffy. And I know there's going to be disagreements with that. And that's okay, too. But I'm not fully in on that. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. Super Bowl 59 is set. It is here. It is done. It is Eagles and Chiefs, and there are endless possibilities for you in the game. With FanDuel Sportsbook, you can predict the first touchdown. You can call who the MVP is going to be. You can even bet the coin toss. FanDuel makes it easy to get in on the action with live betting all game long. You can adjust your bets as the game unfolds and feel the thrill from kickoff to the final whistle. Live betting makes you able to just look at whatever's going on. Oh, I think something's going to happen here. Oh, the spread's changed. And you make your adjustments as it goes on at your party. Super Bowl watching, $5 bet if you're a new customer as well. If you've done that before the Super Bowl, you can get your $5 bet in. You can win that bet. You can get your $200 in bonus bets and use that at the Super Bowl. It is, as they say, the icing on the cake. So download the app or head to FanDuel.com to get started. Bet just $5, and if you win, you'll score $200 in bonus bets. That is FanDuel.com. Bet with FanDuel, an official partner of Super Bowl 59, and don't forget to gamble responsibly. Okay, we've got one more game that we're going to take a look at here. The fourth game of the day, another one of the later games. There are two late games on. One of those is BucksBlazers up in Portland, and the other one of those games is JazzWarriors, which should be interesting. It's a scheduled plus spot for the Jazz. And there's going to be 1 million players out. The Jazz are on a back-to-back, so yeah, get ready. Johnny Juzang and Cody Williams very confident in saying they will not play. Jordan Clarkson is somehow back from his torn plantar fascia, and he's playing on Monday. I would be incredibly surprised if Clarkson plays on Tuesday, on a back-to-back, and it's the Jazz. Very surprised. I'm also going to be very surprised if Lowry, Backspasm Markkanen plays as well. We know that he's sat out 1 million games, and it's a back-to-back. Almost no shot. John Collins is sitting on Monday, as is Walker Kessler. I would say there is an outside chance that they play on Tuesday. Kessler, I would say rock solid to play Tuesday. Collins, absolutely no idea. Who knows? The other one to watch is resting legend Colin Sexton, who he and Kessler were alternating rests a week or so ago. And it is a back-to-back, so do they sit Sexton here? Quite possibly. A lot can go on with Utah, obviously. In Golden State, it's Draymond, it's Kuminga. They're both out. That's it. They're the only guys on the injury report. For the Warriors, Brandon Podziemski played really well last game. His minutes went to 24. If we see it push to 27, I'm actually okay with grabbing him. Because let's be fair, the other guys in that spot, Buddy Hield, terrible. Gary Payton, not very good. And then Guy Santos, Al Helper, and Moses Moody, these guys aren't that good. So if Podziemski is pushing to 27, we get more interested in adding. In terms of streams, I don't know what Utah is going to do. Is Sexton going to play? No idea. Is Clarkson going to play? Also, no idea. Don't think he will. Is Collier going to start? Is George going to start? It's continually confusing. But I think Collier just should be grabbed, rostered, and if not, like you're at least streaming him here. And then on the Warriors, like Moses Moody, Guy Santos, Al Helper, the thing that would have made sense is that Kyle Anderson would get these minutes with Draymond Green out and Kuminga out, but he doesn't even play anyway. Like, he got a DMP last game. Trace Jackson-Davis might get minutes. He might not. It might go to Quentin Postman-Pat. Who knows? There are many different ways that the foreseeable future legend Steve Kerr can screw us over. So I could tell you Santos. Yeah. I could tell you Post. I could tell you Moody. I could tell you Podziemski if he's available. Actually, I feel good about saying Podziemski. I won't tell you Hield because, yeah, you know. But there are a lot of different ways that both of these teams can go. It could be an incredibly messy situation. Let's talk the schedule. Let's try and take advantage of that as best we can. We'll have a look at the teams that do have a back-to-back, Tuesday to Wednesday. Now remember, Wednesday's an 11-game day. For most of you, you might not be able to stream. For some of you, you will. And the only two teams who do that are the Golden State Warriors, with all those injuries I just talked about, and Philadelphia, with the uncertainty around Paul George and Yabusele and Drummond. At least we know Embiid is out, and I'm pretty sure both Martins are going to be out as well. But they're the two teams, Philadelphia and Golden State, that have the Tuesday, Wednesday back-to-back. In terms of chunks, so we're looking at Tuesday through to Saturday. Which players have got 3 games over 5 days that are over 60% available on Yahoo? We start with Toumani Camara. Yeah, good little schedule spot. Gershon Yabusele. I guess there is some risk that he sits Wednesday with the knee swelling and then they whip out their boner. But it might just be Gershon. Grayson Allen and the Suns. You'll notice they don't play on Tuesday, but they've got 3 games in 5 nights. You've got Isaiah Collier in the Jazz. You've got Donovan Clingan in the Blazers. And you've got Cormac Max Christie and the Lakers. 3 games, next 5 days. Nice chunk stream for them. And all those days are streamable. The debatable one is Wednesday with 11 games on. Every other day, easy to do. Not a question whatsoever. The last part of the scheduled part that we look at are the 5s and 2s. So over the next 7 days, are there any teams that play 5 games or 2 games? Because as you know, we hate a 2-game week for fantasy. We love a 5-game week. But we only apparently love them when they start on Mondays. But that's garbage. So we're going to do it every day. Where are the 5-game weeks? Where are the 2-game weeks? Well, at the moment, from Tuesday through to Monday next week, the Nets and the Heat play 2 games. So we know about the Jimmy Butler suspension. He's going to miss all of this time. He's missing at least 5 games. So that's multiple weeks here. But the fact that if you looked at, well, I'm going to stream in Jaime Jaquez. Also, not good when Butler's out, but 2 games in 7 nights. Absolutely not worth it. Khalil Ware, worth it. Nikola Jovic, probably worth it. Highsmith, no. Robinson, no. Rozier, no. We don't stream any of them. Jaquez, no. And that's it. You don't add them for anything like that. There's a bad schedule spot. And then the Nets, like Keon Johnson, Zaire Williams, Noah Clowney even. The only reason you'd have those guys is you fully believe they're going to be good down the stretch because there's not enough games coming up for Brooklyn to make it make sense to hold on to these fringe, variable Zaire Williams, type of players because that's literally exactly what they are. That's exactly what they are. We're going to end things by... that sounded so dark. We're going to end things. Now, we're going to end the show by looking at streaming options. That is probably the right thing to do. So let's do the streams of the day. Start with 10-team category leagues. There's a lot of these ones that are based on some assumptions. I'm assuming that DeAndre Ayton doesn't play. So I've got Rob Williams at the top there. Now, Rob Williams can easily have 10 and 11 with 4 blocks in 21 minutes on 70% shooting. Easily done. Clingan is rostered in a few too many leagues for him to count there, but I would prioritize him because I generally would prioritize starters over bench guys, but Rob Williams moves into a zone here. I've got Drew Eubanks there, but that might not be useful at all. Eubanks could start because Collins could be out or Markkanen could be out or Kessler could be out, but also he might play 10 minutes. It's hard to know. Taurean Prince is a little safer as a 14-team league stream, and then Eric Gordon, he's a back-to-back, so maybe he doesn't play. I think he will, but there could be a bunch of guys out there in Philadelphia as well. It's pretty rough with just the 4 games on. In terms of points leagues, Yahoo and ESPN, Gershon Yabusele is still available in a lot of different spots, and to me, he looks to be in a good spot. But again, it is a back-to-back, and he's probable for Tuesday. Maybe he doesn't play. By the way, updated injury report for the Hawks, Dyson Daniels now questionable for Monday. So no Young, Daniels questionable, Hunter questionable, Ricochet questionable, no Johnson. That could be just all over the shop. Could they just wholesale rest everybody Monday and you get Plowden and Wallace games Monday, then they all come back Tuesday? It does feel a little that way. It feels a little that way. So keep an eye on that. For the Hawks, we'll talk about it all in the recap show, of course, later on today. For 10-team leagues, this is a more expanded list. We start with Rob Williams, but Isaiah Collier's there. Brandon Pajemski, Drew Eubanks, Taurean Prince, Max Christie. All of these guys are below 65% rostered using Basketball Monster's advanced roster percentage number. For 12-teamers, we go under 45%. We've got Eric Gordon, Dylan Brooks, Svi Mihailuk, Justin Edwards, Gary Trent, and Kevon Looney. And then deeper leagues. But to me, the difference between these deeper league ones and these 12-team ones, there's some interesting guys here who could easily jump up higher. You've got Guy Santos Alhelper. You've got the Mayor Ricky Council IV, Dorian Finney-Smith, Kyle Filipowski, Ryan Rollins, and Quentin Post. And then for points leagues, Yahoo and ESPN, it's the same names. Gershon Yabusele, Tamani Kamara, Donovan Clingan, Isaiah Collier, Ricky Council, and Rob Williams. You'll notice a big drop-off after those first 4. These guys are all 60% plus available in fantasy leagues. And that's it, National Kazoo Day. Tuesday, there are 4 games on, and we're going to stream our little asses off to get there. So hit that subscribe button, hit the thumb up, leave your comments down below, and let's keep January and all of 2025 being a positive month. Let's keep doing good things. Let's keep reminding ourselves that we can do something good, whether it's something small or not. Doesn't matter. Did you wash your face today? Did you trim your beard? Did you pick something up on the floor that was sitting there for 3 days and you went, I should pick it up, but you couldn't, but you did it. It is worth just a small, celebration. Guys, we are done here. Thank you so much for listening, everyone. See ya.